video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ding dong, the
bitch is dead.
Bitch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked bitch is dead. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we saw the coolest scene ever. Michael Burnham is dead. Oh,
But it didn't take.
it didn't take. No.
Yeah.
No, it didn't take. Oh.
It never does.
No, it never does. Shit. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone out there doing this morning? Good morning, Dave G. Sound, Purple Valkyrie, Heirs of Chaos, Castle, D.D. Myers, Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches, Pod Racing, Palpatine, Dirk Coon. Good morning, Mark the Infinitely Tired, Sit Room, Dave G. Sound. Good morning, everyone. I hope all of you are having a great morning because we got to see Michael Burnham get killed. And very quickly, Pat Stevens called with a $2 Canadian super chat. Hail Pain, hail Mexican Sailor Moon, hail Valhalla. Hail to you, Pat Steven. And you guys know how we have to start this one. We have to start it with some havoc. So score!
Oh.
Spinning in that chair, a crazy bastard spinning in that chair. I can see Bird doing that, you know. Kapla world.
I'm as constant as the Northern Star.
One of the coolest scenes in any Star Trek show ever.
Oh, I'd give real money if he'd shut up. Oh my God. Oh Lord, what a perfect cast. Unlike Star Trek Discovery, that movie had a perfect cast. Do you not
I
hear
remember all
the
the
midnight?
scenes in Star Trek 6 where everybody would stop and cry and hug and talk about their feelings. That's the same movie, right?
No.
Are you sure? Because I watched Star Trek recently. It seemed to be about hugging, crying, and talking about feelings.
Wrong Star Trek.
Oh, that's weird.
How great would it have been if Michael had been like, "Will I ever see you again?" at the end of this episode, and Georgia would have turned and been like, "I'm as constant as the Northern Star, Michael." Oh, I would have loved it. I would have absolutely loved it.
I would have loved it if she turned and stabbed her a second time.
Chopped her head off and it goes rolling down the hall.
Oh, and Bird, you're getting some love this morning. You are getting some love this morning.
Oh, thank you. Spoiled Quinny baby doll. Hello, love you, Bob. Thank you.
So yeah, we're still in the mirror universe at the beginning of this. We're still at the very beginning.
Yeah, how about that wonderfully well thought out freaking new intro video for this show?
Yes, they made custom mirror universe opening credits like Star Trek Enterprise, but unlike Star Trek Enterprise, they put zero effort whatsoever into it.
Yep.
You know, that's funny. That's funny because I titled this stream, twice the budget and none of the Trek.
Nope, definitely. I mean, literally one person, me, with, standard off-the-shelf freeware video editing equipment could have made that intro. All they did was change the color palette a little. They went from beige to blue, and then they literally inverted the graphics upside down. That's it. Like, why even bother?
Didn't they use Shutterstock in Picard?
Yep.
Oh, all the time. All the time they use it. Well, not even once or twice. Almost every episode.
I think every Android was Shutterstock.
Some items they just took off Google image search.
Oh, wow.
God.
And a $2 super sticker from Eris of Chaos. Game over, man. Game over. In the words of Hicks. Game over. Thank you so very much, Eris of Chaos. I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't know. When you're putting together your own production, I have used Shutterstock. I have, not for any of the intros or anything like that, but I do use Shutterstock for a couple of things in the production of this show, and it is very helpful. But this is me, This is me. This isn't a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company that has access to all kinds of video rendering equipment that I don't. And $9.99 super chat from Mexican Iron Man. I thought I was in the wrong theater this morning until Bernd mentioned this morning is about crying and sharing and feelings. Okay, let's cry. Come, Loriana, you can come cry on my shoulder. Giggity, giggity. Mexican Iron Man. And thank you so very much for the $9.99. Did I say $99.99? I don't know. Super chat. Mexican Iron Man. Skull!
Go!
Oh,
Spartans! What is your profession?
And we
Eris
got
didn't get a skull.
Oh, did Eris not get a skull? I am sorry, Eris. Give me just 1 second. We've got a $2 super chat from Psychodorf9. This shit show equals low expectations. Disappointed. Thank you so very much, Psychodorf9. And we will get you going here and then get Eris skull.
Go!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Little toxic femininity for Eris of Chaos. and a dollar bill for Psychodorf 9. Thank you guys so very much. You guys keep the fires burning bright in Valhalla. Thank you. There's so little that goes on in this episode. There's Giorgio talking about changing. We will change things. We will zap Michael Burnham. Did anybody else not get a little elated when Burnham was in the agonizer booth?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we needed to show much more of that.
That's what I was
less
looking
of
forward
everything
to the
else.
most.
Yeah, when they lit her up, I just smiled.
I was like, why are they doing so little agonizing?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but thinking about the doctor on Enterprise Phlox. Yeah, this will let us give them more pain than ever before. Ha 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 ha. Fryer. Just fry her and just keep frying her. Don't turn it off. That's the whole point of the booth, right? Is that you can fry someone and keep frying them over and over and over again, and they won't pass out because it's hitting different nerve centers. So,
and there's no physical damage.
Yeah, there's no physical damage. So you're just moving it to different pain centers in the brain to keep them awake and keep them going.
Wow, it's an extremely impressive super sticker.
Yeah.
That is a $20 super sticker from Spoiled Quinny Baby Doll, and it is an epic fail. Epic fail. Thank you so very much, Spoiled Quinn Baby Doll. And we're going to give you a big Viking skull. Skull! And that's exactly how I feel every morning I get up to watch this piece of shit. Oh, and some people might say, well, Loki, why do you watch it then? Why do you watch it if you don't like it? Loki, why are you watching this and have a review panel if you don't even like it? Well, see, I love Star Trek, and I've loved Star Trek for years. I've loved Star Trek since I was a little kid. That's something I shared with my father. And to see it in its current form, spending double the budget and getting none of the Trek is an insult to every Star Trek fan that has ever lived. It's an insult to DC Fontana. It is an insult to the great bird of the galaxy, Gene Roddenberry. It's an insult to all of Star Trek when you produce giant balls of crap like this. I mean, I can't help after every episode but feel like this.
That is one big pile of shit.
It's hard to believe you can come up with a pile that big with all the money they spend. They had more money than God for this.
The recent episode of The Expanse, the 3 episodes that me and Sam Jo covered yesterday, cost just a little more than one of the Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
Night and day difference.
Oh, yeah.
Night and day.
So I'm yeah. So they're back in the mirror universe. Burnham is being tortured, and Georgia wants her to hunt down the people she has been working with, including Lorca. And we all know what's going to happen to Lorca. He's going to go to the other. He's going to go to he's going to go to the prime timeline. He's going to go to the prime universe, whatever they want to call it today after JJ Trek. Honestly, I'm spent. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. The one good thing I can say about this is that I was laughing because of Captain Killy. Captain Killy, you will torture.
Yes. Georgia, who says Killy is the most feared interrogator in the quadrant.
Oh, God. That was rich.
I think I threw up a little in my mouth when she said
I spit
that.
my coffee out.
I think it's because she threatens to eat them.
Got to watch out for that cholesterol.
I'll eat ya. I'm bigger than you. I'm high in the food chain.
Get in my belly.
Yes, bird, get in my belly.
At first, she tries the agonizer. That doesn't work. You know, she'll have somebody beat them up, and if that doesn't work, then she just says, "Get me the chocolate sauce." That works every time.
I'm seriously on my seat waiting for the Orville.
Oh,
They just started filming it.
Yeah, I got a long wait still.
Oh. How did Shrek get away with filming, but they put a stop to everything on the Orville?
Orville films in Canada. And Shrek was in LA where they allowed filming longer.
but the Expanse was already in the can. They just
Oh
had to
no, I'm
render
sorry.
it.
Orville films in LA too. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm talking about. Huh? I don't know why. I guess
They had
just
started
finished.
filming,
Yeah.
and then COVID happened. They had to shut down the production.
Man, I guess Discovery was just closer to the end of filming.
Yeah.
That was confusing.
I thought it was. I thought it was Discovery that was filmed in Toronto.
Right, Discovery films in Toronto. Okay, that makes sense.
Weren't they
So
in?
LA shut down first.
Weren't they in? Was it Iceland? No,
Yeah, they weren't for part of the season.
Huh.
The early parts. So I don't know when they filmed it, but the early parts of the season were Iceland.
And Mexican Iron Man with another $9.99 super chat. True story. I started STD and got 10 minutes in. Couldn't handle it. Then loaded Star Trek Continues on YouTube and watched To Boldly Go 1 and 2. Fell asleep. Happy.
There you go.
I can totally see that. And thank you so very much, Mexican Iron Man, for that $9.99 super chat, brother. Skull! And we are opening fire on Star Trek Discovery this morning.
Speaking of fire, Fireflies
Oh yeah.
were the way to get Michael to break, or seemingly to break, all along.
Oh, and Mexican Iron Man makes a good point. As far as Orville goes, everyone seems to forget that he had to leave Fox and go over to Julio.
Oh, that's right. They went to Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu, and then took 9 months, and the whole year was lost in the process of getting out of Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Fox got bought out by Disney.
Ugh.
Another thing to blame Disney for.
You would think Disney would want to go right after Star Trek, though. I mean, that would be a thing.
They have Star Wars already.
Yeah.
They can't see past that. Any other space show is just competing against themselves.
Yeah, and they've got 20 different strip mall Star Wars series coming out.
But half of them nobody wants to watch.
Do you think that's a direct attack on Star Trek, though? Because I mean, I would think the Orville would be this is how we're going to take out Star Trek.
You would think so, but they're more concerned with what all the mess they're going to make out of Star Wars.
Right now, Disney just needs to concentrate on trying to make a buck or two. That's $1 bill.
We haven't seen one of those in years.
I can kind of see what they were trying to do here. They did it in such the conversations that Giorgio has with Burnham, with Saru, with it's like, and then you get this. Yes, Carl is the guardian, but he's like, well, you tried. As long as you tried. You don't have to succeed. Imagine going back and seeing the Guardian of Forever in TOS and Kirk being so selfish that he doesn't let oh my god, I can't remember her name now. He doesn't let her die. He doesn't let
Edith
Keeler. Thank you, Bird. Thank you. He doesn't let Edith Keeler die, but the Guardian's like, you tried. It's okay. You can have your cake and eat it too. Is that what this show has become? Is, oh well, you tried, and because of that, you're gonna get points just because you tried.
Isn't that what they do say to the writer's room every time they leave? You tried.
Yeah. Fail. Honestly, watching this episode, even with the canon violations and the fact that they can't even keep their own storyline straight, seeing Michael Burnham get killed that really moved it up on my scale.
Oh, definitely the killing, the agonizing, and the what was it? There was shit. Maybe that was it.
Kicks to the face.
Oh yeah, she was getting beat like crazy. Oh, and the fact that the crew basically killed each other.
Yeah.
By the end of the episode, there was only like a couple people left alive.
Yeah, I think Drew and his buddies were the ones that ended up taking everybody out. I think Captain Tilly was about the only one, or Killy was about the only one left at the end.
Killy and Owo.
Yeah.
Best I could tell. And of course, Saru and the Calpians, who were literally slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So the Emperor gives the slaves weapons, and the slaves come in to defend their slave masters. The people who were eating them just a few weeks ago are now being defended by their own slaves, who are still in slavery, best we can tell. But oh yeah, so Emperor Giorgio tells Michael, "Oh, we're not going to eat Kelpians anymore because they're too high in cholesterol." Not making it up. They're too high in cholesterol. No more Kelpian on the menu.
But I was craving ganglia in my set.
Well, you're going to have to get Kelpian beaters from the replicator. It's Kelpian flavor without the cholesterol. I can't believe it's not kelp.
Yeah, I can't believe it's not kelp.
Yeah. Saru light.
Stop eating my people. Try. I can't believe it's not Kelpian.
Yeah. God.
The diet Kelpians.
Diet kelp.
Kelpians, now with Olestra.
Oh man.
Oh.
And once again, the weapons seem underpowered in this Star Trek. They shot at a shuttlecraft.
Oh yeah.
Photon torpedo.
I thought someone was about to get fired or killed. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, they shot a photon torpedo. That person's going to get killed. Nope.
All it did was just power his ship down, I guess.
Oh, yeah, all it did was hurt his engines.
Yeah.
All it did was hurt his engines. Come on, man.
Do you remember when if you fired a torpedo too close to another ship, it would blow them both up?
Yep.
I mean, they even talked about that in TNG. You know, we can't fire torpedoes; it's too close. We'll blow ourselves up if we do it. But now they can fire a torpedo at a shuttlecraft, and yeah, it's no big deal.
Shuttlecraft, and it was a shitty shuttlecraft too. It wasn't even like a top of the line shuttlecraft. They specifically said it was a cheap shuttle.
Yep. It was the Yugo version of the shuttlecraft.
And here's my question. Here's my question. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bird.
I would say even with a variable yield, you say, "Oh, they got variable yields." Bullshit. If you shoot a torpedo at a shuttlecraft, it blows up. Period.
Right. If anybody knows their technical manuals, the Type 1 torpedo that the USS Enterprise had at the very beginning of TOS, which was not the upgraded Type 2s, did not have any kind of variable yield. It was like a antimatter bomb in a casing. That's all it was. It wasn't until they invented the Type 2 that they started to be able to even conceptualize the idea of variable yield torpedoes. It wasn't until TNG that they made that a reality. So
I got it. The shuttlecraft is made out of the blast doors of the Enterprise, so it's torpedo proof.
Better, they got some Beskar steel.
But the other thing that doesn't make any damn sense is when they're going to go after Lorca, and Captain Killy says that they're instead of taking Discovery at maximum warp, we'll just take a shuttlecraft because that'll get you there in the same amount of fucking time.
Oh yeah.
Since when do shuttlecrafts have the same warp drive as a fucking full size starship?
Yeah, I thought in that era the shuttlecrafts were basically just maybe one warp 1 or 2 capable.
Yeah, and how the hell does Discovery go warp 9?
That's 9. Interesting. Yeah, warp 9. There was a TOS episode though where Kirk has to jump in a shuttle and actually catch up with the Enterprise. So how fast the shuttles go is debatable. It's the episode. In fact, it's the episode where Spock steals the Enterprise.
The Menagerie.
The Menagerie. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man.
I just watched that the other day too.
Plot device.
Yeah, I would say it was a mistake at the time, but I can't yell at them about that. I can yell at them for warp 9 in a Discovery era ship.
Yeah.
And why the hell were they in Discovery anyway? Why not use the Charon or whatever it is that they just dedicated? That's supposed to be the biggest, baddest ship.
Yeah.
And anyone in the writer's room even know that there are 2 warp scales? There's the old Cochrane warp scale, and then there's an updated warp scale in TNG. That's why they have warp 9.9, 9.8, and all of that. And that when the Enterprise in TOS was going warp 10 or warp 11, which only happened in very rare circumstances, they weren't really doing that. That was more like warp 9.1 and 9.2.
Yeah, like when the aliens from the other galaxy commandeered the ship, and they had it going pretty quick, but it was still going to take 200 years or whatever to get to the other galaxy.
Yep. And Darth asked her, "Hey, Alex, Hollywood would like to buy a clue." Oh, never mind. He did. And they're going to cry in hallways too. They're going to cry in hallways, and they're going to raise their glasses to someone who treated them like utter shit and ruined a perfectly good sci-fi show because he wanted to use it as a political platform.
Georgiou, it was literally the most unlikable person in the galaxy, and yet everybody on that ship adored her. I mean, that was sickening.
That was disgusting.
Tears of joy when Burnham got stabbed. Yes, pod racing pal. And Captain Spire with a $2 super chat. I forgot about Lower Decks and Picard. Let me ask the chat really quick, guys. If you are following along with us and watching this, throw a 1 in chat if you have gone back and watched Lower Decks again since it's been over, or Picard. And after this quick skull, we will ask the panel the same thing. Thank you so very much, Captain Spire, for that $2 super chat. Skull!
Long live the fighters!
Have any of you, we'll start out with Samantha Jo, while throw a 1 if you have, throw a 0 if you haven't. Chat, we'll see what happens. I think I know the answer to this already, though. We'll go real quick around the panel. Sammy, have you watched Lower Decks or Picard since it ended?
No, I barely made it through both series anyway. I don't think I finished Picard. I don't think I finished Lower Decks.
Canuck?
Not Lower Decks, but I have Picard.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Bird?
No, once was enough.
Dave Bob?
I literally cannot stomach watching anything in this Kurtzman Trek more than once, because if you do, that's just, you're punishing yourself.
And we have a crap load of zeros. Big zeros. Never watched Lower Decks. Watched Picard once. Sit Room, never watched it, never will. Durkoon, 0, no interest. I have not myself. I got through Picard. I reviewed Picard and then Lower Decks, and I had to go back because I just stopped watching Lower Decks. I had to go back and watch the last couple of episodes. I did like the last 5 minutes of Lower Decks, the very last 5 minutes of Lower Decks.
But did you watch it again?
No, I did not. I just watched it once. So,
To be fair, I did watch a YouTube video of the last 5 minutes of Lower Decks recently.
what about the movies? The JJ reboot movies? Did any of y'all watch? Because I know I watched the first one more than once. I watched Into Darkness, I think twice. Once in the theater, once when it came out, just to make sure. I hated it as much as I did. And I watched the last movie. What was it? Into Darkness?
Beyond.
Beyond. I watched that once, and that was it. What about you guys?
I've watched them all a few times.
Yeah.
I'm not against rewatching once in a while.
I watched Star Trek 09.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched any of them more than once except for 09. I think I watched it twice.
Is this, we'll go around the panel again. Do you believe that this is disposable entertainment? That's been thrown around by a couple of different people, that this is like a one and done television show, that you watch these episodes once and then you're done. There's no reason to go back and watch it. Sam Jo?
Yeah, they don't give you any reason to go back and watch it. It's not exciting. It's not worth it. I don't know why you'd want to do that to your brain anyway.
No, I agree. Canuck?
No, I don't think that they're meant to be rewatched.
Bird?
No wisdom to be found. No great truth that reveals itself after watching it for the 4th, 5th, or 6th time. Not like TOS, or TNG, or DS9, or Voyager, or Enterprise. Nope, just nothing there except what you see. Pew pew, space battle, big hole in the head from a phaser shot somehow.
Dave Bob?
Utterly disposable. There is nothing redeemable to even try to watch it again. I mean, it's just crap.
And Pat Stevens go, look, a comm badge, manscaping a comm badge onto my groin is more fun. I would have never thought of that.
Brogan Entertainment says bad space battles. Absolutely. Yesterday I saw, it's probably out there, I didn't save it, but somebody remastered the Battle of Angels from DS9 up to 4K.
Yes.
And it was amazing to watch. And this is a battle that's what, 20 years old now?
Yep.
And it blew away the season 2 battle from Star Trek Discovery, which was probably the biggest battle they ever did. It blew away the Picard standoff between the Romulans and the Starfleet ships. I mean, it looked beautiful to this day, and it was basically Star Trek Deep Space Nine remastered. That's how you do Trek space battles. That's how you do space battles, period. And that they could have done on a fraction of what they spent on Discovery, and it would still be amazing. But it's not what they do. Instead, we get little fucking shuttlecrafts fighting each other.
They turned the larger Federation starships, like the Galaxy class, the Nebulas, they turned those into basically carriers to carry those Peregrine fighters. And when they're using the Peregrine fighters to aggravate the Cardassians, I lost my shit the first time I saw that. And to see that, like Bird said, to see that in 4K, you're like, ah! And to see the Klingons swoop in and do their surprise attack and open the lines for the Defiant. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And you gotta wonder, with all the money they're spending, these guys did this on a budget. You know, when they were like when they were saying this is what we want to do, well, we're gonna have to reuse some of this and we're gonna have to reuse some of that. There are effect shots you get that are reused later in the show because they had to do that. They were on a budget. Now they don't have to do that, and yet we're getting shit.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting shit. Yeah, who doesn't like an entry of the Galaxy Wing blasting apart ships? Yes.
Well, you have the Star Trek writers' room. I mean, STD's writers' room has the intelligence of an amoeba.
Great. Now we're gonna get hate. We're gonna get hate mail from amoebas now. Great. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, they used that in the original Star Trek, that giant space amoeba.
Thank you, Dee Dee.
I love DS9. I love DS9. I loved Vic. Who would have ever imagined you would fall in love with a holodeck character? That you'd just be like, this is the coolest shit. They're going to Vic's.
Yeah, Vic Fontaine, favorite hologram. The Doctor, a close second, but Vic Fontaine, better.
You got to throw Space Rangers. Burn them, Space Rangers. Lens flares cost big bucks. Sit room. So Giorgio ends up being, and yes, it is the Guardian. Carl, the doorman, whatever, is the Guardian. And I agree with Bird. Bird, go ahead and tell us about the temporal Cold War thing.
So the Guardian, Burnham and Giorgio demand, like, who are you really? And then you hear the voice, I am the Guardian of Forever. And he turns into the Guardian. Well, actually, Carl is there, and the Guardian just like appears at a metal flying in the air. And he's like, I'm kind of a time portal. He's like, and it used to be you'd go through, you'd have fun, just don't change the past, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but then the time wars started. The temporal wars started, and people were using me to kill other people. And he didn't like that. He got sad. So he up and moved to a different planet, so they couldn't use him to go back in time anymore. And that was it. He got sad, so he moved locations. And Michael Burnham's like, oh, of course. And it would take a sphere with 100,000 years of data and access to Starfleet's database to extrapolate where you went. It makes perfect sense. And he actually said, I like that. He said, I like that. Yeah, makes perfect sense. And that's why he moved. And truth be told, it's not the worst thing Discovery writers ever wrote. I kind of okay with it. I didn't know how I'd be okay with him being the Guardian of Forever, but after watching this episode, it was the least of my worries.
At least there was a little explanation this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Hanging.
Now, it still causes issue when in City on the Edge of Forever,
Exactly.
Spock specifically asked the Guardian, can you slow this down? Because it was moving too fast. The time periods were moving too fast. He's like, can you slow this down? And the Guardian was very specific. He's like, no, I've only been constructed to show time in this way. I can't change. Which made me think that, okay, that's, he can never change. But apparently in 1,000 years, in the 100,000 years prior or 1,000,000 years prior, he couldn't change, but now he can. So, whatever.
When Bird of Prey 5 says whatever, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a dude. He can lie to a dude. When a woman asks him, he has to,
He has to try harder.
Yeah.
She's going to see right through you.
And they didn't show any time periods. So we don't know where Giorgio is going. It's just like a freaking vortex she walked into. So they can still figure out, what century she's going to end up in. He just says he's going to send her back to when the Prime Universe and the Mirror Universe were still close enough together. So that could be anywhere from before Discovery started to like 400 or 500 years afterwards.
And Sitroom says the machine evolved. I will argue that, Sitroom, if the machine had evolved beyond what it was, it would have been Carlita, the female Guardian, not Carl, the male Guardian. You see, when you evolve, you become a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, if the machine had this power to do this stuff, why not just shut itself off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
logic.
Use.
And it doesn't make sense. People need to use the Guardian forever to begin with because, as we know, time travel is relatively easy in the Track universe. You could jump around the sun. You could, Borg had time travel. Everybody had time travel. That Krenim ship, Jesus Christ, from Voyager.
Hell,
they could erase you from time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Year of Hell. They don't know that though because they never watched any of the original shows. They don't know that. This is all new. This is ours now. So we don't have to give a shit about anything that came before it. We can say this is the first, this is the first person like this that's ever been on Star Trek. This is the first person that's ever been in an episode. This is the first whatever. They can claim this is the first, and that Star Trek has never done this before. When they don't know shit because they never watched it before.
That was the reason they moved 900 years into the future so they could do whatever the fuck they wanted to. Pardon my
And they
French.
were supposed to avoid canon. The whole
Yeah.
point of moving was to avoid things like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But all that said, Carl is still one of my favorite parts of this series.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say, Carl is a high point for me.
Love Carl. Loved him when he was on CSI.
Oh, that's right. He was. Holy cow. I was wondering where I saw him before.
I loved it when it was Churchill. Someone brought that up. He was dressed just like Churchill.
Yeah.
It was purple.
That was
It was purple. Yeah, dressed just like Churchill. Why is he dressed just like Churchill? Probably because he was. You're going to find that out in season 4 of Discovery. Yeah. Carl was Churchill.
Oh, Lord.
And Carl's always been a woman. You'll find that out too.
And meanwhile, back on Enterprise, or not Enterprise, but Discovery.
They all celebrate Giorgio. And what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person she was.
Yeah, sickening memorial scene to a character that I think most of them shouldn't even have known that long. I mean,
yeah,
how long was she on Discovery before they went into the future? I don't think she was there for years or even that many months. And then they went to the future. It's only been a few months that they've been in the future.
Except for Berman. She's been there for what, 2 years?
Well, yeah, Burnham was there a year on her own book. But, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Discovery, I think they forget that, it was relatively soon. They went right from the battle at the end of season 2 right into season 3, right into the middle of the 32nd century. And, everybody makes it seem like time has passed for them.
Yeah,
not a hell of a lot of time has passed.
The second season was about the only, midway through the first season, and that it couldn't have been more than 6 months or so, maybe a year.
I don't even think it was that. They kept going from signal to signal. It felt like felt like the second season, to the time they left, and from Control to build up to they left only seemed like a few weeks, if I had to guess. I don't think it was a year. I don't think Pike was in charge. I mean, everything was being done while Enterprise was being fixed up. A month, 2 months tops. I don't know.
And don't forget, we no longer have to worry about communications. They can communicate now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they decided
some bloody fucking way.
They decided they can use long-range communications just fine because they needed to. Oh, and also the entire reason that Giorgio has to wear that bracelet, we found out, was for a scene in this episode. When she comes back, she comes through the door, and she wakes up, and she's like, "Where have I been gone?" And he's like, "Just check your wrist." He's like, and meanwhile, Michael says, "You've only been unconscious 1 minute." And she checks her wrist. It's got 3 months worth of readings. So she realized she really did go back to the past.
Yeah, that's impossible.
So before we do a rating here, I would like to point out, because this has been said since day 1 or day 2, I don't know what it was in one of the very first episodes we watched. Saru's days are numbered. Saru's days as captain of the Discovery are numbered. And of course, Giorgio tells Michael, Saru's not the only one that's going to be captain of the Discovery, Michael. Ah, yes. Saru's days.
Better watch his back.
Are numbered.
I think Calpian is back on the menu.
Calpian's back on the menu, boys. Oh yeah, Sammy never saw Lord of the Rings. Never.
They got a pill for cholesterol over there.
They got a cholesterol pill that'll help with cholesterol. So, we'll go around the panel one last time. Samantha Jo, rating.
My rating, I'd give it a 2 because it was more exciting to watch Michael Burnham die. But that's the only thing I really remember from the episode. It was just not that much, so 2.
Rambling Canuck.
I'll go with a 3. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I'm not slurring my words, so we're good.
We can go through the whole bottle then.
Yeah.
Bird for a 5.
Yeah, same as last week, a 5. I think between last week's and this week's, I could get like 30 or 40 minutes of a really good episode.
I'd agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Day Bob.
Actually, I'm going to give it a 3.5, the highest rating I've ever given anything on this show, strictly because there was some explanation of things and not just, just out of thin air. Also, the Burnham's torture and killing scene really brought a smile to my face. There you go. I mean, 3.5.
All right. I'm going to give it a 4, which also is the highest rating I've given an episode yet. You could see Michael Burnham get extinguished. You get to see Michael Burnham being tortured. Like Bird said, there are actual explanations for some of this. There are actual explanations for things that happened in this episode. I think that using the Guardian was an okay idea. I think that the way they implemented that, though, was stupid. I liked Carl. Carl seems to be someone with at least some sense. The fact that they made him the Guardian, though, they could have made him anything. He could have been anything. He could have been a life form like a Q. It could have been anything, but they decided to use the Guardian, and they pulled out some bullshit explanations. But again, the temporal Cold War, I could see them using him like that. So I'll give it a 4. I will give it a 4. How many of these damn things do we have left?
2.
2?
I don't know, Bird. How many do we have left?
I think it's 3.
3.
3. All right. I will be at next week's.
Well, let's see, January 7th. So 1, 2, yes, 3.
3. Okay.
All right. So we will all be back on the 24th. On the 31st, New Year's Eve, I will not be here. So Samantha Jo will be standing in my place.
With a little help from Rambling Canuck.
No problem.
And Dave Bob. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the entire panel for watching this Dren. I know it's painful. I know you want to drink. I know, but it's important that we speak our minds and we talk about what we liked and what we disliked. There were a couple of things in this episode I liked. There was a bunch of things I did not like. But it's important that we speak our minds and that we are unafraid to do so. So, guys, we have a show with me and Adega coming up tonight. We have a movie watch party and a Valhalla get-together this weekend. I hope to see you all there. We've also got a member stream coming up. Huge weekend for me. Sam Jo, anything you got going?
Well, tomorrow the Valkyries do my house tour. We've got that going on. And then, of course, I'll be with you guys on movie night and then the Discord stream on Sunday. So that's what we've got going on so far.
Canuck.
Well, I'll just say please do check out the last radio show that dropped last Tuesday featuring Loki and Chris Knight. And look forward to the next one where the Valkyries will be invading history with R&R.
All right, Bird, what do you got going on, brother?
We got our Bed Life, normal time, 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then Saturday, for Cinema Saturday, we've got Die Hard.
Oh, yes.
It'll be 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern. So check for that.
Heck yeah, I will definitely try and make the Die Hard. We just did that. We just did that. Colin P. Smith, Loki. What's the movie again? Nightmare Before Christmas. We're gonna watch the Nightmare Before Christmas. Dave Bob, what do you got going on, brother?
Well, tomorrow we get to review the final episode of The Mandalorian, and after that, I will try to be on the panel for the movie night, and we'll just see how it goes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot one more thing if I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so next Tuesday at 9 a.m., so right after Loki's show, next Tuesday, Richard and I will be doing a 100 subscriber celebration on History with R&R. And if you're in the chat, you will earn a chance to win a History with R&R mug.
Nice.
Nice.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I was thinking about doing something similar to that before Christmas. We will just have to see. It might be at that movie watch party. Who knows? Might be a t-shirt or something in it for somebody who's there. All right. Thank you guys so very much for being here. Thank you, panel, for being here. Chat, thank you so very much. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Take her easy, folks.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.